Hey everybody, it's Jen from Parcel and Page. I decided to do a little bit of a journal with me. I am way behind on July. So let me see if I can get caught up a little bit. This is my new notebook. Love her. She's got like a velvet cover. Some people don't like the feeling of velvet. I do. I think it's really nice. So let's get through. Since I always seem to do the first 4-ish pages, I decided to do something a little different. I'm going to do my mood tracker and just a little second page that I haven't really fully decided what I was going to do yet. So just to show you that, and then I have my calendar page. I always put just birthdays and important things in here because there's not much space. The dots, or the squares rather, are all 5 by 5. And then over here I just do a little thing for appointments and to do. I don't always decorate this page a lot just because it can get busy too quick. So let me start with my mood tracker. Now you may or may not be able to see, I already sketched this out so as to not kill you guys with boredom, but anyone that lives somewhere with seagulls know that they are absolutely filthy animals. They're cool and they'll come down and they'll eat your food, which is great fun when you're sitting on the beach. They also poo everywhere. So that is what I decided to do for my mood tracker this month. Is I'm going to do 31 separate seagull poops and see how that works out. Okay. Anybody who may be offended, I apologize in advance, but I sketched out 31 boxes, and then down here is where I'm going to put the color chart for the different moods. And up here, I gave it a title. I will go through that a little bit later. Let me just start showing you what I drew out. Okay, whoop, little mistake there. Okay, and is this gross? Kinda. I don't mind it. I think it's funny. I know some of you will be horrified at the fact that I'm drawing 31 different poops on a page, but I like it, and I can say this is probably going to be pretty original. I don't know if anyone else is gonna try and draw poop for a mood tracker. Usually it's something happy, goes along with the theme, which this technically does go along with the theme. It is just a little off color, if you will. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of these in. No need for everybody to watch me do that. So let me do that, and then I will get back with you. Okay, all 31 are drawn out. You can see just how lovely my seagull poop is. For the mood tracker key on the bottom, I did go ahead and draw 5 circles. I always count them in 5s. You can do more, you can do less, whichever. In order to get the good circles, I use the Archer and Olive A5 ruler. You can see they have, well, I think you can see, maybe not. They have different templates you can use on here, so I just went ahead and used the circle. Now, to keep track of what each of these is, I rule out different. So this one will be happy or excited. And we have content and tired. This one seems to be my biggest one. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Okay, are they in a perfect line? No. No big deal though. I don't really care. So the thing with these, obviously it's a dot grid, and leaving it white, you can see right through it. So I'm going to take a Tombow N95 that's rubbed off, because you can see I use this one a lot. I'm going to go ahead and just very quickly color the insides of the poop splatters. Okay, coloring them gray I think made them look a little less like funky ghosts or strands of, well, not DNA, but little molecules, what have you. So, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. I don't want to go so far as to say I'm the only person who has ever used poop for their mood tracker, but I think I'm probably up there. I don't know how popular this is to do. So now I'm going to choose my colors for my moods based on the colors that we're using for this spread. They all match pretty well. I do get the color numbers from the Hubman and Chubgirl site when they do their tutorials. That way I know ahead of time which ones are going to match and I don't have to sit and swatch every one or hold up my swatch book to see what's going on. So let's pick out a red, an orange. I try to not do colors that are real light. Let me see. The yellow is actually pretty bright. And, well, I just said that, but let me maybe do a light blue and a dark blue. So there gives me, there's my 5. So for my happy and excited days, we will have a pink poo. And my content days, or tired, probably more tired than content, although a little bit of both, I guess. And then anxious and sad, I will do yellow. Frustrated and annoyed, I'll do a light blue. And upset and angry, I'll do a dark blue. Probably have to go over this a couple times because it is pretty similar to the frustrated and annoyed. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case. Let me make sure. Nope, no bleed through. Okay, so here we are there. Now we're going to do the title for this page. Okay, I actually meant to do Mood Tracker in a different color. So what I'll do is I'll let this dry some, go in and erase the lines. I can do this one over here. I didn't draw anything on it. The Tombow fine liners, I guess they're called, they do smudge a little bit. There's actually a video right now online where they go through all the different kinds of pens and markers and see which ones smudge and which ones don't. The Tombow wasn't too bad, but I would rather leave it for just a minute. I can slide through that one because it doesn't really matter if the poop is smudged. Okay. You don't want to, I should have gone over this either with a different color or highlighted first. I meant to do it and I got carried away with the poop. So let's see. Let me use a different color to highlight it. I'll keep it separate from these. Maybe I'll do this little sand color. I will. Let's see if you can. No, you can't really. Okay, so let's do this. I don't know if I really like that, but that's okay. Well, maybe I'll go through this too. So you can see it is smudging just a little bit on the M. I always suggest that you do the highlight first and then you write on top of it because it's not going to smudge when you do it that way. So here we are with our poop mood tracker, which I actually really like. Odd? Heck yes. Fun? Also yes. Okay, we'll move on to the second page. I did go ahead and add just a squiggle and bring the brown out so that it matches. It doesn't just kind of cut off in the middle, or not in the middle, but with all these spaces left. So on this page, I decided to just do a bunch of boxes. I'm going to try something and see if it works. I'd like to do the background in blue using ink instead of the marker. So you can probably see I did start to mark off the boxes. I like to do that anyway, just to make sure I have the right thing. So what I'll do usually is just go into what is going to be the corner of the box. I guess if I put you guys in the camera, that would help. I do like to draw these out ahead of time, even with the lines themselves, because it makes it a lot easier to not make a mistake. I don't really care if you make mistakes. I think it's fine, and it's part of what you do with your life. You know, makes it look all right, makes it look human. But sometimes if it's really off, it can be a problem, at least for me, because it makes me nuts. Now let me find my ruler. I'm chancing it by not going over it in pencil first. I do have my trusty Hubman and Chubgirl ruler. So let's see how many of these I can do. Again, I can line up the dots that I created ahead of time. Again, see, because it smudges a little bit, I kind of made a mistake there. I should have started from the top and then worked my way down so as to not smudge it as much, but that's okay. See, like here, I made a mistake. I went up too high. Again, it's like that, you know, measure twice, cut once, but nope. Okay. Okay, I went and got my white pen. I use a Uniball Signo to cover up mistakes. These are nice. A lot of acrylic markers you do have to shake up before you use them. This one you do not. So I can just go over this line and problem solved. Okay. Where did I put the cat? There it is. Okay. All right. Back to lines. When you get into the corners of the books, especially when it's brand new or when you're getting towards the end of it, it's a little bit hard to line up the seams perfectly if you try and draw this way. If you go from the other direction, it's not so bad. Okay. And here. Again, I do like to do all the verticals first. Less chance of smudging, except on these, but that's okay. Okay, I have all my boxes. Let's see, let me shrink down a little. Okay, again, gotta give it a second to dry. Make sure you don't smudge everything you just did. I think at this point I can start at the top. Once this is all erased, I will come back. Okay, everything's erased here. I think because this page is obviously so gray with just a little bit of brown on it, I mean, eventually we'll have these colors on the insides, but it is still kind of bland. So one thing I'm going to do is grab some of my markers and just outline the insides of the boxes just to give the overall spread a little bit of color. These two colors are actually very similar. I didn't realize how close they are, although I guess holding them up to each other, that's kind of a duh moment, but that's okay. Now, there's one thing I do want to try and do. I want to see if I can get the background blue using just an ink. I did get this from Journal Say. He's blue. It's really pretty color. And actually, it does come out quite a bit lighter than this. So in order to do it, I need to mark off the edges of the squares. I'm going to use a washi tape that I don't use all that often and don't mind getting rid of for this little project. So let me go ahead and tape these out, and then I'll come back and show you what we have going on. Okay, while we were gone, I did add the dates to my poop mood tracker. Now you can see here, and this is why I didn't want to do this on camera. This took a stupid amount of time. So I just want to go through with a bone folder and make sure the edges are down pretty well, unless I lift them up. This is going to protect the inside of the squares from what I hope will be a pretty, and there, I forgot one. This is the kind of thing you look at it so many times you think you have them all, and then there's one left. But I'm actually glad I saw it now rather than later. It'll make it a whole lot easier to go through this. As you can see, this washi is not really sticking all that great. I got it as a cheapy cheap off of Amazon with a bunch of other colors. The corners are not great. I've also had this for a little while without having used it, so I don't know if you, I guess that's kind of stupid if you lose stickiness over time if you don't use it. So, okay, so we have our boxes. Now I'm going to grab our blue. Let me see if I can shrink it down a little. Okay. I'm going to use a dabber brush. The only thing you need to watch with these is your very first stroke that you put down on the paper can be a little bit blotchier than the rest of it. So I will just dab a little and gently, see, it already did it. Once it's on, you can kind of smudge it a little bit. Smudge, great word. And there it goes again. So I'll just rub over a little. I don't want it to be a solid color anyway. I want it to be more like the sky. And I should have marked off the edges, but that's okay. Again, mistakes. It's okay. Do a Bob Ross happy accident. Do want to be careful in between though, because the tape is kind of wide and the spaces in between the boxes are a little small. Okay, I should have taped off this side, but I mean, really, that is not a problem. Okay, doesn't look like much. Now I hope when I take this off, it looks like what I want it to look like. Get my tweezers. Well, these I really don't need tweezers for. I did get on the inside a little. Oh, great, now I tore paper. Yay, this is working out very well. Snark, snark. Okay. Well, the blue inside of the box I can remove. Right after I say this washi doesn't stick very well. It's sticking. When I peel it off, the best way to do it and help avoid tearing is to pull it over on its side and try and peel it flat against the paper. Okay, well, there are a couple of spots that left some blue inside. I can try and erase it. I don't know if it will. No, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, you know what? I don't really care because I am going to be writing inside of these. One thing I will fix, though, I'm going to pull off that little piece that tore off with the washi. Washi that doesn't stick, right? And then I'll go back over that with a light blue marker gently. Once the paper loses its coating, it does absorb in a little more. This, I think, is very close. It is. Okay, so that, and then, let's see, how did I, there. And then, I'll go back over this. It's always kind of a gamble going over a line. Again, that one came out okay. But when you do it, sometimes it doesn't match up. And again, it really shouldn't be a huge deal. Okay, now, I like this. It adds color, definitely, obviously, to the page next to it. I'm going to grab a few of the planner size stickers and just stick them in the top. I think I'm missing one. Am I missing one? Yes, I am. Where are you? There it is. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to put a couple of them in the top. Add a little bit more interest to the pages. Stick you there. And I think that's a little crooked, but that's all right. This little guy is hanging out up here. And here's my friend stealing French fries. Never, never, never leave food out unattended at the beach. Let's put this one. Let's see. Put him here. Actually, we can kind of cover both of them. And maybe we'll do a little beach blanket or towel. And we already have one stealing fries, so let's have this guy supplying the fries, so to speak. And we have a couple surfing. Let's see, this one's orange, so let's do the blue surfer right down here. Now I don't like the top of this being all naked, so I'm going to go ahead and use, because back here I used the 15 millimeter washi. Let me. One thing with Hubman and Chubgirl's washi, once you peel it, like I swatched this the other day, once you peel it, it kind of loses its stickiness a little bit. So I like to give a little bit of extra space so that I can cut it off. Oops. Okay. And here. Well, yeah, we'll go here. It's okay. Trying to decide if I wanted to keep it going to the end to kind of match with that, but since that was a little bit of a mistake, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And now we'll tear off the top here. And let's throw in, let's see, that was a big July. I'm going to leave more space. I haven't done any daily spreads yet, but I like to write a lot more than I thought I did. So I'm going to make these, usually I only do 2 pages per day. So I'm going to hang on to these as much as I can. I do like to do Dutch doors. So I won't have to use all of the Julys, but let's put one right down here. Oh, that's crooked. See, things like that. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm trying to peel it up and it takes, oh, maybe not. Let's see if I can get this one off. Okay, it peeled up the color a little bit, but that's okay because I'm just going to cover it anyway. I said I don't really mind if things are crooked. The only ones that drive me nuts is if there's a straight line like this. And I just really like to keep, no. Oh, dear Lord. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so now I have my little room for writing. I don't know what I'm going to put in here. I have quite a few birthdays this month. My youngest daughter is turning 17. It's going to be a senior in high school, which really makes me sad. My sister-in-law's birthday is this month. My sisters are turning 50. So there's a lot. My anniversary this month. So maybe I'll just take each one of these and use it for one of the special days. I know we're having a pretty big party for my daughter. She's, bless her heart, she wanted a blow-up water slide, so we have that. So I can put some memories and just whatever I feel like it in here. So I hope you enjoyed watching my poop mood tracker and found it funny, at least. Please don't be upset if you don't. And then just my extra page, and that's it. I'll start going. I started, haven't really decorated or done anything with it, but I will do, as you can see, this is where I have the 2 pages per spread, so, or 2 days per spread. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you stuck around to see. I know this was a long video, but I had a lot of fun doing this one. I'm originally from Long Island and very close to the water, so I'm used to these guys. Every statue, every boardwalk, everything. This is everywhere. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.